Have you ever stopped, suddenly alert, as a sharp ringing pierced the silence around you? That high-pitched frequency, striking without warning, no source, no reason, no pattern. Doctors might call it tinnitus, but your soul whispers something else is trying to speak. What if that sound isn't a symptom, but a signal, a message hidden in the noise? A spiritual knock at the gates of your consciousness, subtle, invisible, but undeniably real. Across ancient texts and whispered teachings, the ears were always seen as sacred instruments, not just organs of sound, but antennas to the higher planes, tuned to the unseen. In deep meditation or sudden stillness, initiates often reported tones from other dimensions. The frequency would emerge as a hum, a pulse, a vibration slicing through the ordinary. This wasn't illness, it was awakening, an alignment of internal resonance with higher truth. Some believe this ringing is the voice of the universe correcting your internal compass, a guide adjusting your path, a whisper saying, turn back or keep going forward. But not all frequencies bring peace, and not all voices come with love and light. Spiritual warfare is subtle, and frequencies can deceive just as they can enlighten. Your ear is a portal, but what enters depends on what you vibrate in resonance with. When the ringing comes, ask yourself, where were your thoughts? What were you about to do? Many report hearing the tone seconds before making life-changing decisions they couldn't explain. Some say the ringing pulled them out of danger. Others say it marked their awakening. It is not just sound, it's information, encoded vibration, bypassing words to reach your soul. To hear is not enough. You must learn to feel what the sound is saying. Indigenous cultures taught that each ear was tuned to a different world beyond the veil. The left ear received messages from spirit, feminine essence, ancestral whispers, inner guidance. The right ear, a gateway to warnings, future echoes, masculine frequency, coded universal signals. So when the ringing comes, its side matters, its pitch matters, and your state matters. You are being fine-tuned, like an instrument being prepared to play in the divine orchestra. Mystics warn that artificial frequencies have invaded our natural harmonic field without our consent. Phones, towers, screens, and smart devices emit signals that confuse your inner magnetic alignment. But your soul knows the difference between a microwave buzz and a metaphysical transmission. The real tones strike differently. They pass through your body, not just your hearing canal. They leave you with chills, shivers, or a feeling of presence standing silently behind you. Quantum researchers now admit that consciousness responds to frequencies at the subatomic level, that every thought has a vibration, and sound can collapse reality into new forms. Is it any wonder that sound is the tool most used in ancient rituals? The ancients understood what we forgot, that frequency is a language older than words. So what is speaking to you through that ringing, and why now, in this moment? Sometimes the pitch is sharp and short, other times it sustains like a note held still. Sometimes it's your guide calling, other times it's interference, testing your discernment and spiritual armor. Many spiritual teachers claim that the sound is tied to downloads of spiritual information. Your DNA's being rewritten in silence. Your etheric field is receiving cosmic software updates. But only those attuned can decode the message. The rest feel only annoyance and confusion. Monks in Tibet speak of the divine tone, the sacred bell that rings without a hand. They say when your frequency rises, you begin to hear what others cannot perceive. Each ring is an echo from your higher self, trying to reach the physical plane. An invitation to go inward, to meditate, to pause, and open your spiritual perception fully. It's not just a sound. It's a call to remember who you were before this body. When you ignore the message, the ringing persists, louder, longer, more frequent, like an alarm. But when you acknowledge it, you begin to notice patterns, connections, synchronicities emerge around you. You might wake at 3:33, find feathers, see repeated symbols after each ring occurs. Because once you listen, the other side begins to speak louder through every layer of life. And that is when your reality begins to shift, not outward, but deep within your soul. But here's the warning. Not every sound comes from a divine origin. Some are engineered. Some frequencies are sent by entities or systems that seek to manipulate, not awaken. They mimic the sacred tone, hijacking your trust, feeding you ideas not born from truth. You must develop spiritual discernment. Feel the energy behind the sound. Trust your inner knowing. Because in this invisible war of frequencies, your consciousness is the ultimate battlefield and prize. Some experiencers report that the ringing intensifies during solar flares or lunar cycles. This is no coincidence, as the cosmos itself emits harmonic pulses through space-time and matter. These tones are not just local, they're galactic, interdimensional, and encoded with ancient stellar wisdom. So when your ears ring at midnight or sunrise, ask, who is reaching out to me? And more importantly, are you truly listening or just brushing it off as a random glitch? You may think it's just a coincidence, but the ringing always comes with a reason. It's not random, it's a resonance, a key unlocking something hidden deep inside your being. Each pitch carries a signature, a unique fingerprint matching specific events or energy movements in you. That sound could be a wake-up call or a warning before spiritual interference unfolds unseen. The only difference lies in your awareness, your state of being when the tone arrives. Ancient alchemists mapped tones to elements, organs, planets, and even spiritual stages of transformation. A ringing in your left ear, soft and rising, may signal a divine presence arriving. A sharp tone in your right ear may warn of deception, intrusion, or spiritual imbalance. Your body becomes a receiver, but only if your soul is calibrated to cosmic harmony. The ears are more than tools of hearing. They are frequency gates to the infinite. Mystery schools taught that during initiation, certain candidates began hearing tones no one else could detect. These tones were not hallucinations. They were proof of energetic awakening and dimension-shifting perception. One tone in particular, said to vibrate at 963 Hz, was known as the God frequency. This tone, when heard naturally, meant the crown chakra was opening beyond the physical spectrum. Have you heard it before sleep or upon waking, as if reality was being rewritten? What modern science calls spontaneous ear ringing may be linked to quantum fluctuations in localized fields. But what they don't explain is why it coincides with déjà vu, lucid dreams, or visions. People report hearing the sound right before prophetic dreams, visitations, or sudden bursts of creative insight. It's as if an interdimensional bridge forms for seconds, sending data through light and sound alone. And you, unknowingly, stand at the center of a celestial download beyond time and space. But there is danger in this gift. If you chase the sound without grounding, you fracture. Some have lost their grip on reality, overwhelmed by floods of vibrational codes they couldn't interpret. That's why sacred traditions trained minds first, before activating the ears to divine transmissions. A clear channel needs a stable core, otherwise the message becomes distortion, the guide becomes shadow. You must ask not only what is this sound, but am I ready to hear it? Esoteric teachings claim that planetary shifts raise Earth's base frequency, known as the Schumann resonance. As Earth ascends, more people begin hearing the tones that once only mystics perceived. We are evolving into beings of light and sound, decoding reality through resonance, not logic. The sound you hear could be your own higher self, aligning with your earthbound consciousness. Or it could be a nudge, a push toward your next vibrational assignment in this life. There are those who map these tones like sacred cartographers, building libraries of frequency experiences. They claim each frequency aligns with a geometric shape, a chakra, a planetary gate, or glyph. This is not science fiction. This is the blueprint hidden behind ancient temples and sacred chants. Every sound holds geometry. Every ring you hear echoes through your aura and reshapes your energy. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt, piece by piece, through vibrational architecture of sound. And then there's the other side, the dark engineers who exploit these same principles for manipulation. They deploy synthetic tones through digital media, apps, towers, songs, masking control beneath pleasurable resonance. You must learn to feel, not just hear. Trust your intuition beyond the physical response. If the sound feels invasive, disorienting, or draining, it is not a spiritual message, it's intrusion. You can block it, ground it, or transmute it through ancient tones, breathwork, or silence. Many seekers use tuning forks, crystal bowls, or chants to harmonize their body's inner frequency. When in tune, the false signals fade and only the true winning remains, clear and sacred. Some report the ringing guiding them to sacred places, past life memories, or unseen protectors nearby. They follow the sound like a compass, discovering truth hidden in forgotten corners of existence. This is the real purpose of the tone, to guide you back to divine remembrance. The ringing is not your enemy. It is the knock on the door of perception. Will you answer it? Or will you turn up the volume of the world to drown it? Because once you listen, truly listen, reality shifts, dreams change, coincidences multiply, and time unravels. You begin to see the code beneath reality, the layers beyond sight, the web of cause. And at that moment, you are no longer asleep. You are no longer just human. So the next time that high-pitched sound breaks through the noise of your day, pause. Ask yourself, what were you thinking? What were you feeling? What energy was about to unfold? Was it a guide, a warning, a gift, or an attack in disguise masked by light? Because the ringing is real, and it carries messages from realms that don't use words or time. It is up to you to decode the sound, align with its source, and evolve accordingly. Reality is not built with bricks and wires. It is sung into existence by frequency. Your ears are keys. Your vibration is the lock. Your soul is the door waiting to open. You've heard the tone, you've felt the shift. Now you must walk the path it reveals. Silence is no longer silence, and sound is no longer just sound. It's truth wearing a disguise. Will you answer the call of the ring, or will you remain deaf in the illusion? If this message found you, it's because your frequency is already rising. Subscribe to Wake Up, join the awakened, and listen beyond the noise of this world. The ringing is real, and it's calling you to remember who you truly are.